Hello, welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today I have a product review for you. And the product which I will be reviewing is this. And this is, hold on, the ZLYC Leather Vintage Removable Padded Camera Messenger Shoulder Bag for DSLR Cameras and Lens, brown. Now this was provided to me for review by ZLYC, ZLYC being a company that has a storefront on Amazon.com. They sell all sorts of different things, leather journals, satchels such as this, messenger bags, also some sort of clothing, fashion items, things like that. They had provided some notebooks for me to review in the past, and now they have provided this to review. So full disclosure, I did not purchase this myself. This was provided to me for review by ZLYC. But let's take a closer look at this bag. I'm going to talk about some of its features, some of the ergonomic aspects of this bag, price, all that good stuff. And then finally, I'll tell you what I think of it. Well, let's take a look, shall we, at the ZLYC Leather Vintage Removable Padded Camera Messenger Shoulder Bag for DSLR Camera and Lens, brown. Let's just call it the ZLYC camera bag for simplicity's sake. You can see the leather here is sort of a tobacco brown, kind of rough-hewn looking leather. It's made to take on these scratches and signs of wear and tear. I think it should develop a really cool patina with some use. And if you decide to treat it with any sort of leather conditioner or protectant, I'm sure it will darken up quite a bit throughout the years. But the outside of the bag, you can see it is held together with these buckles, but the buckles aren't actually what you would use. They actually have this push button latches here. They work okay. They kind of hang up a little bit. I would almost actually prefer just to use the straps, but these work all right. The hardware is sort of a brassed looking metal. I doubt that's actually brass. Got a carry handle on the top, flap. In the back we have a fairly large zipper pocket here. Everything is lined with kind of a polyester fabric material. Fairly good size pocket. Go back to the front. Open this up, and we have first just a flat pocket here with no zipper closure, and then within that there's another pocket with a zipper closure. So these are actually covered by the flap when the flap is closed. Inside, I've actually still got some equipment in here. I've been using this as my camera bag for my video camera, which is in use at the moment. But we actually have this divider, this padded divider inside, and this is what's supposed to be used for your DSLR camera. So if you had the body of your DSLR, several lenses, things like that, that could fit in this padded divider and actually be fairly well protected. But that's removable, and it's also something that you can kind of pack away. Feels like there's maybe some sort of paper or cardboard inside the padding, but it can be folded up, put aside, and it also has Velcro inside. So you can change if you just want to have one large compartment here and then one small one here. You can take out these dividers. So that's pretty cool. Put that to the side. You have one large pocket storage area here. On this front side, you have two pen loops. And then you have these dividers here. You could maybe put a smartphone, any little electronic devices in here. These are stretchy, elastic. You also have a back pocket here. And this is something where you could easily fit, I think, about a 13-inch laptop in this area. Got some more power cords and cables in here. And then there's also, behind this pocket inside, there's another zipper pocket here. So there's quite a bit of storage space in here and a lot of room for organization, really. And again, it's not leather lined inside, it's lined with sort of a polyester fabric, but this is a pretty chunky bag. But let's take a look at the dimensions, shall we? The outer footprint is right around 5.5 inches in depth by a good 15 inches in length. And we've got a little over 10 inches in height. But the inner compartment, the largest inner compartment, is right around 14 by 9.5 by a little over 4.5 deep. So that is a fairly large compartment. And then this back slit here is right about 13, a little over 13 inches in width, so you could put like a 13-inch laptop in there pretty easily, I should think. The carrying strap is also leather, riveted together with these brass pieces. It's adjustable, but not very much. Basically, you've got this much adjustability. So even at its lowest or shortest, it's still pretty long. And we'll get to that when I actually show this on how low it hangs. In terms of the durability of this, it's hard to say exactly. I haven't had it for a very long time, but it feels durable and it feels pretty well made. The stitching seems nice, it seems even. The thread used seems to be some sort of synthetic, maybe nylon thread. It seems fairly durable. The hardware isn't necessarily the strongest in the world. I look at these zipper pulls here. They're pretty thin. I don't know how far or how long those will hold up, but you know, you never know. The actual metal mountings and hardware seems pretty robust, and most of the major stress points are also riveted as well as stitched, so that seems pretty nice. The leather itself isn't super thick. This is actually another piece, a lining that has been sewn to this top piece here. If you look here, this is also two pieces, so sandwiched together. So it's actually fairly thin leather, but all of the stress areas seem to have been sort of doubled up, folded over. From what I can tell, the construction seems to be pretty well done. So in the interest of showing you just how much you can put inside this satchel, I've taken the liberty of cramming it full of stuff. And I will show you what I've got in here. One thing I do want to point out, if you do have it full, this is pretty heavy right now. You notice when you pull on the strap here, it's kind of, I don't know if you can even see that in camera, it's a little bit floppy, this strap. It's not really reinforced. And I know a lot of bags, like if you look at a lot of the saddleback bags, they actually have a metal piece inside here to reinforce where the strap is actually onto the flap of the bag so it doesn't pull like that. This one, you do have a little bit of slack there, something that could be a stress point later on if you always have this bag really fully loaded. But let's take a look inside. I don't like these very much. That's one thing. If I had to point out something ergonomic, I'm not a huge fan of these. But anyway, let's open her up. We have got a lot of stuff in here. It can fit pretty much everything in the world. We have a big Clairefontaine notebook here, full size, in this back flap, zipper pocket. I have various cords, cables, electronic doohickeys. Here we have a very large Leuchtturm notebook, their full-size master notebook. That's the big boy there. Fits inside with ease. We've got various handwriting guides. We've got a good book. We've got a Midori Traveler's Notebook. We've got a Nintendo 3DS. We have here iPhone 6, Lamy Studio fountain pen. What else? What else? Oh, wait a minute, I forgot the zipper pocket. Oh no, in this zipper pocket here, we have some sunglasses. How about a pipe? We got a pipe in our little pipe pouch. How about some pipe tobacco? Never leave home without it. Pretty much you can fit your entire day in this bag quite easily. But how does it hang? How does it feel? I'll show you that next. All right, so I've loaded the bag with some stuff, not quite as much as I had in there in the last little segment, but just kind of the normal things that I might carry around with me. If I were on the go, a book, a notebook, maybe my pipe and tobacco, things like that. We're gonna close her up. Now I've got this strap adjusted as short as it can go. And here's where this bag hangs. I am 6'2" tall, so I'm pretty tall. And this is as short as it goes. So you can see that the bag still hangs pretty low. It basically is a little bit below the the buttock area there. Now, for some of you, this may not be an issue. For me, when I have a satchel hanging on me, I like to have it right about up here, kind of in the small of the back. That's what feels most comfortable for me if I'm walking any long distance, because it's not clanging around all over the place. I like the strap kind of tight and I like the bag kind of high. When it's down here, it just feels really floppy to me. That's what she said. But some people that might not bother you. If you're a woman or if you're a shorter man, I don't know. This is a pretty long strap and it's a pretty big bag, so that might be an issue. You could always replace this strap, I suppose, or you could take it to a leather worker in your area and have them shorten it up, because basically you have these rivets here on the edge, so it's kind of difficult to take this, cut this, and then reattach it yourself. I mean, it's not a huge issue, I guess, because this is stitched up all the way. You probably wouldn't have too much trouble just cutting this off, folding it over, re-riveting it. Oops, you can't see what I'm doing. And re-riveting it there. So that's something to bear in mind. But that's basically what it looks like on. And bear in mind, I am a 6'2" tall human male. I have no idea what I weigh. I don't know. Less than 200 pounds, more than 170 pounds, probably. So there you go. So there you have it. The ZLYC leather vintage removable padded camera messenger shoulder bag for DSLR cameras and lens, brown. I think for the price, it's kind of hard to beat. For $155 for a bag of this quality, now this isn't a saddleback leather bag, but for $155, if you're going to be using it for a camera bag with that removable padded interior lining, it works fine for that. If you take that out, you have a very, very roomy satchel messenger bag slash work bag slash whatever you want to use it for. Tons of different pockets, tons of different places to store anything you could possibly imagine. It'll fit a smaller laptop, maybe a 13-inch laptop, and it seems to be pretty durable. Now, granted, I haven't had this for a huge amount of time yet, but so far, I don't know. I think it's going to hold up pretty well. Yeah, there's some ergonomic things that I don't love about it, but again, for the price, $155 for a bag of a pretty nice quality, I don't think you can go too wrong. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your good friend Bradley. You have been the audience. This has been the Stuff and Things review of the ZLYC leather vintage removable padded camera messenger shoulder bag for DSLR cameras and lens, brown. I'll see you next time.